Good morning, everyone. And yeah, fantastic. When I was looking at the attendees list, it was great to see such a strong Northeast contingent attending the event today. And yeah, species champion for the hen harrier. I was just saying as I came in there that when I was first elected in 2016, I was offered the opportunity to sponsor this species that admittedly I didn't know too much about at the time, but what a baptism of fire that was. But a really enjoyable time doing what I could for that. But again, I really am delighted to be here with you all today. And I think it's really fitting that I'm also speaking to you today from the host city of last year's COP26, as world leaders are gathering in Egypt for the 27th UN Climate Change Conference. We know that failure to hit those targets that were agreed here last year would be catastrophic for the planet, and that we have to now focus on action. And at COP26 last year, important commitments were made for the world's oceans, including to integrate and to strengthen the ocean-based actions across the UNFCCC architecture, and to establish an annual ocean climate dialogue to strengthen that action. A clear message emerged from the first dialogue held in June this year, and that is really the importance of blueing the Paris Agreement and making our coasts and seas a place for real climate innovation and for action. The First Minister and the Minister for the Environment and Land Reform are attending COP27 this year, demonstrating Scotland's continued commitment to engaging internationally and driving and delivering on high ambition outcomes for the climate. Those in the room today, I know, understand deeply the importance of our seas and coasts in mitigating and adapting to climate change, but also that healthy and functioning marine ecosystems underpin our economic prosperity, our well-being and our way of life here in Scotland. Within the Scottish Government, we know that to address the systematic risks that are posed by climate change and biodiversity loss, we have to design our economy to protect and regenerate, not deplete natural systems. And we must also use economic activity and our natural resources to improve our physical and mental well-being. And that's why we want to create a well-being economy here in Scotland, an economic system that really serves and prioritises that collective well-being of current and future generations, as well as one that operates within safe environmental limits. As part of our ambition for a well-being economy, we're committed to rebuilding Scotland's natural capital so that it can sustain our prosperity into the future. We know that that kind of transformation requires a really bold rewiring of our economy, as well as new metrics for measuring success. And we recently published our Wellbeing Economy Monitor, which defines new indicators of economic performance that complement those traditional metrics like GDP. That monitor measures how the economy contributes to things that people really care about, like health, child poverty, greenhouse gas emissions, biodiversity, income, wealth inequality, as well as fair work. And we're going to use these new metrics to help inform policy decisions to reduce Scotland's vulnerability to those future financial, social and environmental shocks. As part of that transformation to being a wellbeing economy, there's an urgent need, and I think as well a really exciting opportunity for our seas and our coasts to help deliver on those ambitions. We know that oceans already generate 10% of Scotland's renewable energy through offshore wind, and our marine businesses contribute to nearly 3% of total Scottish employment. Our seafood industries provide healthy, nutritious, low-carbon food that is internationally renowned for its quality. Our marine and coastal habitats sustain a huge diversity of life and store many thousand megatons of blue carbon. But there is more that our seas can offer. We know there is significant potential to expand our offshore wind capacity, to develop those nature-based solutions to climate change, and to grow the number of high-quality jobs and fair work within our coastal communities too. Harnessing these opportunities, though, has to come hand in hand with protecting, restoring and enhancing our natural marine environment. And we now want to support and accelerate the contribution of our seas to delivering that just transition to a nature-positive, circular net zero economy that has well-being and fair work at its heart. That's why in spring of this year, I launched the Blue Economy Vision for Scotland. The vision sets out our ambition for shared stewardship of our marine environment to support that ecosystem health improved livelihoods, economic prosperity, social inclusion, as well as well-being. And the vision demonstrates how we value our marine environment and our maritime cultural heritage and their significance to both people and our planet too. At its core, our vision recognises that our economy and society are embedded within nature and not external to it. And that's captured through the 6 blue economy outcomes that we set out alongside that vision. The outcomes span environmental, social and economic goals, and they've been identified to respond to the major environmental challenges of our time, as well as looking at the impacts of the pandemic and Brexit on marine communities. Our vision sets a bold new framing for management of Scotland's marine environment to 2045, and it really represents the first time that the Scottish Government has taken a long-term outcomes-based approach to managing our seas. Since publishing the vision, we've been working to build a clear picture of where we are now in relation to those outcomes, as well as to take stock of how our current policies, programmes and investments align with that vision. We've also reviewed the type of tools, interventions and levers that we can use to support the delivery. This work, which we will shortly publish, is vital to identifying where new or different actions are needed to deliver that real transformative change. We do know that much of our activity, which is already underway, will help us progress towards achieving those blue economy outcomes. And this includes activity relating to marine nature, coastal communities and our marine industries too. So as an example of that, through the Butte House Agreement, we've committed to designating at least 10% of Scotland's waters as highly protected by 2026. These new highly protected marine areas will include sites within both inshore and offshore waters, and they'll serve to enhance the existing marine protected area network. Highly protected marine areas will provide an additional level of protection by excluding extractive, destructive or depositional activities, and will only allow other activities such as tourism at non-damaging levels. It will, of course, be of prime importance when we're looking to designate these sites that we use the best available evidence to do that. In September of this year, we published an updated marine litter strategy for Scotland. The strategy contains multiple actions for the most problematic types of marine litter, including fishing and aquaculture gear, sewage-related debris and plastic pellets. This strategy will really drive forward our work over the next 6 years, and it will coordinate the efforts of our stakeholders and other partners too. We're also making substantial progress with our fisheries management strategy. The recently published delivery plan sets out the positive steps that we're taking, including progressing with action on climate change in Scotland's fisheries management strategy. And we've completed a number of key pieces of research, and we have other research underway that will further our understanding of the impact of fishing and what that has on climate change. We'll also soon publish our vision for sustainable aquaculture, and that will chart the Scottish Government's ambitions for this sector. It will support the sustainable growth of aquaculture while expecting operators to act as good stewards of the natural resources that they depend on. It will also set out the government's view that the communities that host aquaculture must share in the success of that sector and derive real benefit from doing so too. In this year's programme for government, we announced our intention to start the process of developing a new national marine plan. The new national marine plan will be a key delivery mechanism for our blue economy vision, and it will address the global climate and nature crises by carefully managing increased competition for space and resources in the marine environment. The statutory process for the development of a national marine plan requires detailed assessments and stakeholder engagement that will deliver over the next 3 years, and we aim to complete that by 2025. 2 weeks ago, we published the first steps that we're taking in that process, and we set out our detailed strategy to engage with stakeholders during the national marine planning process. We know that there is still more to do to deliver the blue economy vision, and we don't underestimate at all just the scale of that challenge. Our upcoming blue economy publication will mark the start of that next phase of work, though, to understand how we can really embed a blue economy approach right across Scottish Government, as well as more broadly as we look to engage with industry, scientists, as well as with communities. If we are to deliver our ambitions for Scotland's blue economy, we know that we can't do that alone. We need to build that collective ownership of the blue economy agenda, and there will be a role for everyone to play within that. The marine science community in particular are a fundamental delivery partner for achieving our blue economy vision. Because as a community, you all have vital roles to play in building the evidence base that's going to support the decisions that we take, as well as in developing new innovations to create that thriving ocean economy, in monitoring and evaluating the progress that we make, as well as in training the next generation of marine professionals. Now, with that, I'm delighted to see that MASTS has already mobilised and chosen to theme this year's annual science meeting around supporting delivery of the blue economy vision. As the largest marine science conference in the UK, this meeting really is a fantastic opportunity for colleagues to exchange ideas, to build new collaborations and ultimately find those solutions that will move us towards our goals for the blue economy. MASTS as an organisation has undoubtedly proven the benefits that research pools provide to graduate training within Scotland. The joint studentships that have been delivered by MASTS and by the Scottish Universities Partnership for Environmental Research offer students a wealth of opportunities to pursue research, to engage in training, and really to learn from each other as part of a large multidisciplinary group. By linking that research and training with the needs of environmental regulators and industry, MASTS is fostering a new generation of students who will be equipped to take on diverse careers and become those future leaders in managing our marine and freshwater environments more sustainably. Last year, I was fortunate enough to visit the North Atlantic Fisheries College in Shetland and personally see how the college and University of the Highlands and Islands is delivering first-class marine education and training. And I've also been lucky enough to see firsthand the outreach work that's been done by the scientific community with the wider public on marine issues when I visited the Scottish Government's Marine Lab in Aberdeen. Building that awareness, that engagement and that understanding of our marine environment is the only way that we can achieve that shared stewardship of our seas. The MASTS People, Ocean, Planet initiative is a really fantastic, innovative example of merging marine and social sciences to deliver outreach activities that build ocean literacy and drive behavioural change right across society. The success and impact of MASTS as an organisation is clear. The ongoing research from Scotland's scientists means that we know more about our oceans today than ever before. And many of you here in the audience today, I know, will have contributed to Scotland's 2020 Marine Assessment. That assessment gives us the clearest picture of the state of our seas, and it really is a vital evidence base on which to build our blue economy approach. The assessment wouldn't have been possible without MASTS, and I'm delighted to see that today, again, the MASTS community is coming together to take forward further action and discussion around the marine assessment. I'm also pleased to see that blue carbon will be the focus of one of the workshops. Scotland's blue carbon habitats, such as salt marsh, seagrass and seafloor sediments, are important long-term stores of carbon, and they offer huge potential as a marine nature-based solution to climate change. While there do remain those significant gaps in our scientific understanding of blue carbon habitats and their vulnerability to human impacts, research by the MASTS community and the Scottish Blue Carbon Forum is helping us to fill those gaps. And it's placed Scotland at the forefront of blue carbon science, both within the UK as well as internationally too. The collaboration between the Scottish Blue Carbon Forum and the UK Blue Carbon Forum, who are co-hosting tomorrow's workshop, demonstrates the benefit of coming together, not just in Scotland, but also bringing in expertise from across the UK as well as internationally to think about how to progress and accelerate science to inform action. As a government, we place a really high value on science. It informs everything we do, and not least through the contribution of our own science and engineering professionals, many of whom work in the Marine Scotland Directorate. And we are continuing to actively support and deliver strategic research that will support our blue economy. For example, this year we embarked on a really unique and collaborative research project to help ensure that offshore wind developments happen in the right place and at the right pace and scale to protect our marine environment as we meet ambitious plans for offshore wind development. The 4-year Prepared project, which has been led by Marine Scotland scientists, will improve our understanding of how seabirds, marine mammals and fish respond to large-scale offshore wind developments. The project will improve confidence in the predictions of potential environmental effects of offshore wind developments on protected birds and mammals, and that includes the cumulative effects. Our government scientists are also actively working to develop and deliver innovative fisheries science programmes in collaboration with industry, academics and other experts. We received a really strong endorsement of our approach at the recent Marine Stewardship Council Sustainable Seafood Awards. At the awards, the Scottish Pelagic Industry Science Data Collection Programme was honoured with the 2022 Ocean Leadership Prize. This pioneering programme, which has been developed over 6 years between the Scottish Government, the University of the Highlands and Islands, Shetland and the industry, involves partnering with fishers to sample Scotland's pelagic stocks. Information from the industry sampling is being used for annual stock assessments and to inform the management decisions that ensure the continued sustainability of those stocks. These projects are just a small illustration of the success that we can achieve when we work closely with the MASTS network to share that expertise, the knowledge and resources to deliver our blue economy priorities. And I think they also demonstrate how maintaining a strong science and research base that adapts to dynamic policy needs ensures the provision of an evidence base and high quality scientific advice to support our decisions. And the past 2 years of the pandemic have shown us just how important science advice is to our everyday lives, and we remain committed to seeking that expert scientific advice on marine issues. Now, in closing, I will just say that our blue economy work is hugely ambitious, and I think it's really exciting for Scotland. I know that over the 3 days of this meeting, that the interchange and the exchange of information and expertise on both very specific research topics, but also the wider sharing of policy ideas and initiatives will deliver a real impact. And I really just want to wish you every success with the conference. And I hope that new collaborations and connections are made across our really great marine institutes. And I really look forward to hearing about the outcome of today's discussions, as well as exploring what steps we might take together to build that long-term collaborative approach to science and research in support of our blue economy vision. Thank you very much.